Hey everybody, I got a very interesting video for you guys today. It is about a movie that I saw very recently. It's called The Sea Beast. It's an animated, basically kids movie on Netflix that came out earlier this month, and I saw it with some of my family and we really enjoyed it. But what really stood out to me with this movie is that I really believe that there is a lot of prophetic elements in this movie. When we finished the movie, it was like I was just recollecting myself and realizing, man, there's a lot of things that happen in this film that they touched on that is very similar to society today, and also some things that we read in the Bible. Now, I firmly believe that the Lord speaks through many, many mediums, even through things like this, things that aren't really intended to be Christian films at all. I believe that the Lord still speaks through things like this. The Word of God says that no man is without excuse. He has put eternity on the heart of every single man. He speaks to people in one way or another, whether it be through the sky, the very sky, the sun, the stars, people around them, people in their life, movies, music, whatever it may be. The Lord speaks, and the Lord speaks vibrantly to every single person on the planet. And I think this movie is very similar to that. So with that said, I am going to be touching on a few things about this movie. So if you haven't already seen it and you don't want it to get spoiled, I recommend you guys watch it. It is on Netflix, so if you have a Netflix account, you can watch it right now. And it's honestly a really good movie. We enjoyed the heck out of it. It made us laugh quite a bit. We had a good time watching it, and it's a clean movie. The language is very, very good. There's no foul language. There's nothing. It really isn't any elements that we saw that were like, I don't know. So, and that's really hard to come by, honestly, in today's day and age. So it was a good movie. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about some of the elements in this movie that I believe are very prophetic and related to the world today, things that the church should really be aware of. The first one is the representation of evil. The way that this film presented evil was just so good. It is not something that you see very often at all, the way that evil is represented. So the evil character in this movie was two people, but mainly this person. It's the witch. Her name was Batterby, the witch Batterby. And like I said, it was just spot on. And I'm going to touch on three things in regards to the evil, which I believe is Satan in this film. 3 points. The first one being blaspheming God. The second being the temptation that Satan offers us. And the third is what it costs us. Those three elements were really, really illustrated in this movie, and they were just done so well. So the first one is blaspheming the Lord. This is simply what Satan does and has been doing for centuries as the prince of this world. He sets up monuments and pagan anti-God symbols all throughout the globe, basically giving God the finger. And he's done this, like I said, for centuries. All throughout our nation, even America, there are symbols, there are monuments, there are things in this country, physical things that are very much intended to be offensive to God. They're not just accidental, they're not just coincidence. These are designed with a purpose to give God the finger, really. Now, Batterby, the witch, does this in this film in a very interesting way, and that was this creation that she made, which she says is the most terrible creation she's made yet. She calls it the hand of God. The hand of God. Guys, this is what the enemy does all of the time. He takes something that is evil of his own creation, something that he birthed, something from his own evil, corrupt mind and heart, and he puts God onto it. He puts the name of the Lord on it so that when something happens, a bad thing happens, the Lord is the one to be blamed, because people say, oh, but I thought that was of the Lord because it's called, X, Y, and Z, whatever it may be, the hand of God, when it really wasn't, but rather birthed by the enemy himself. He does this all the time. He's very conniving, he's very scheming, and he's very, very, very intelligent. That's honestly why the Lord Jesus Christ tells us to be as peaceful and graceful as doves, but be as wise as serpents, because the enemy is a very, very intelligent and wise being. He knows his way around so much, and this is the perfect example. She calls this invention the hand of God. What does this have to do with the Lord in any shape, way, and form? This is demonic. This is designed to kill, to poison the beasts in this film. This is not a God thing at all, and yet it's called the hand of God. It's not a coincidence, guys. All right, now the second thing I want to touch on in regards to evil in this film is what it costs us. So when this is Captain Crow, he's one of the main characters in the movie. He goes to the witch in desperation because he's trying to kill the beast that he believes took his son, right? So he goes to the witch as a last resort, basically. He wants to do whatever it takes to really get that beast and finally kill it, because he's been trying to for many years. And now more so because it took his son, or at least he believes it did. So he goes to the witch as a last resort, like I said, and she's very, very clear with him, letting him know of what people say about her and the people that use her schemes and her tactics. He goes on to say, I don't believe in these superstitions. I don't believe in that. That's nonsense. That's baloney. I don't believe in the supernatural. But she tells him, you will, but you will. And right before her response, his chest tattoo, like you can see right here on the screen, that tattoo he has around his neck is a dragon. It's a serpent around his neck. It was originally around his chest. But when he said, I don't believe in these superstitions, she looked at him in silence, and the tattoo came alive and it slithered up and around. It moved from his chest to his neck and it wrapped around his neck. And now you can see it on the screen. It's wrapped around his neck. And that's when she says, but you will believe these quote unquote superstitions, because they're not superstitions. This is the spiritual law. This is the way the enemy works. This stuff is real. There is a real enemy. There is a real spiritual realm, and there is a real war going on for our very souls. Guys, this is beyond symbolic. This scene right here, that very quick snippet of what happened with the tattoo going around his neck, is not just symbolic. It is beyond that. This is precisely what happens in the spiritual realm when we give ourselves over to Satan. He wraps himself around us, binds us, traps us, and we become slaves to him, bound by his chains. This is what happens, guys. This is what happens. And again, this isn't a Christian movie. I need to relay that very well to you guys. This is not a Christian film whatsoever. But just look at this. The Lord speaks even through mediums like this, and very boldly. It'll go right over our heads. It'll go right through our eyes, and we won't even realize it if we're not awake, if we're not open to the fact that the Lord does do these things, and we're not aware of the way the Lord speaks. Guys, this is so prophetic. I mean, this is happening today, and it's been happening for centuries, but today, even more so in these last days, these things are so important for us to realize. And God is speaking, man. He's speaking to the masses, and some people don't realize it, but others, they see this and it's like, wow. I mean, very, very, very plain. But anyways, again, the last thing I want to touch on is the cost, what it costs us when we give ourselves over to Satan. Guys, this movie does it very, very well. The witch is very, very clear when she says what it will cost, because the man asked him, Captain Crow asked, okay, what will it cost me, to get this hand of God, this weapon, so that I can use it? What will it cost me? And she says, everything, Captain. It will cost you everything. This is the truth. This is how the enemy works. When we give ourselves over to the enemy, people that sell their souls, celebrities that are selling their souls left and right, it costs them everything. Everything is gone. Everything is on the table, and the enemy takes it all. Everything, absolutely everything. And he promises them, prosperity and all this stuff. You can have this, you can have that, you can have this, you can have that, fame, fortune, prosperity, whatever you want to call it. Like the enemy tempted even Jesus Christ himself when he was on this earth. It has never changed, but it costs us everything. Now, one thing I really enjoyed about this film is that it exposes the way the enemy works. The enemy doesn't do this. He doesn't put all his cards out on the table, and he doesn't let you know what it will cost you. Okay, he's very conniving, he's very smart, he's very wise. He keeps those things under wraps so that we bite the bait and we fall into his trap, and then we lose everything. Everything is taken away. She told him very plainly, it's going to cost you everything. And it did. It cost him his honor. His crewmates no longer had respect for him because he gave in to this temptation and no longer upheld their code of honor, the code of the hunters that they believed was what gave them honor. So this is just, it's phenomenal. It was just done so well. And again, I highly encourage you guys to watch the movie so you can really see it for what it is. It was a good movie. It really was. All right. Now, the main thing that really just resonated with me and my family in regards to the prophetic elements of this film was the mainstream indoctrination, the one world order, media and the elites controlling the narrative, and fear-mongering. All of these aspects were very, very present in this film. And that's the major plot of this movie. The world has been told generation after generation after generation that the sea beasts, these monsters, are evil, and they are the reason that they are at war. They need to be eradicated, and that's why the hunters go out and they kill the beasts to the best of their ability. But this little girl, Maisie, this little child, which is also very prophetic as well. The Lord says it all throughout the word. If we do not become like these little children, we will by no means enter the kingdom of heaven. Little children and being like a little child, having childlike faith is a pivotal tenet of the faith and something that Jesus taught on quite a bit. So I think that's also not a coincidence that it's this child that came to this revelation. I don't think that's a coincidence at all. But anyways, this is so relevant to today's day and age, especially with the virus, the coronavirus pandemic, quote unquote pandemic that we've had in the last couple years. Since the beginning of this supposed breakout, the alleged virus, the whole world has been fed countless lies. And the media has been presenting nothing but fear, fear, fear. Wear your masks, get the jab, social distance, don't meet with others, don't go to church, churches can't meet, don't meet with your family, etc., etc. A lot of fear, fear, fear. You know, we need to be aware and scared of what's going on. This is a real thing, X, Y, and Z, however you want to put it, all this nonsense. Guys, when I watched this movie, it became so clear that this fictional narrative reflects our real world dynamic today. We have been told to fear the virus, so we do. And who's telling us all this? The mainstream media, the elites of today's day and age, the royals of society. And this is exactly the narrative of this film. It's the elites, the king and queen, the royals of the movie, of this film that have been pumping out these books for generations. And Maisie was able to realize this when she looked at these books and the fact that they all have the same symbol, this royal symbol that you can read right under the triumph over the beast, that little symbol right there. That's the symbol that she saw. And guys, this is just so prophetic. It's unbelievable. This is what's happening in today's day and age. The one world order, the one world religion is real. And there are so many Christians that are just, it's going right over their heads. They're denying it. They say, oh, it's just a conspiracy. Guys, this stuff is real. This stuff is absolutely real. And this movie is just, it's showing us that. This is not a coincidence that a movie like this with this kind of narrative came out today. It's not a coincidence, guys. Wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee, like some people say. This is what is happening. We need to open up our eyes and realize the crap that is going on in this earth and how this relates to biblical prophecy. The end of the age is right around the corner. Way more now than before. Way more now than before. And it's going to be way closer tomorrow than it is when you're watching this video. Guys, we need to be like Maisie and have our eyes open. We need to be like a child. We need to have the faith of a child, but also be wise as serpents. The Lord himself says in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I know it's the book of Hosea. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. We are destroyed because we are ignorant. We are not aware of what's going on right around us. We need to be aware of what's happening around us so that we can know what season we are in and how to behave accordingly. Guys, this is such an amazing, amazing prophetic film. Really well done. Again, it's not a Christian film by any means, but it was just very prophetic, and I highly encourage you guys to watch it. Watch it with your family. It was honestly just a good watch in general, but watch it and reflect on what you've learned in this video. So when you go to see this video, you can really see things that I may have missed and just see the truth in this movie. The Lord has spoke very, very boldly through this film, and I really enjoyed it, and I think you will too if you haven't seen it. And if you have, I hope you agree with me in all these things and know that it's not really coincidences at all, but rather the Lord speaking to his people and to the world very, very plainly. Anyways, guys, God bless. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do. It's a video that I've never done before. A style that I've never done, never really reviewed videos or talked about, movies before. So I hope you enjoyed it. Guys, this stuff is real. The Lord is speaking. It's our job to tune our mind, tune our eyes, and tune our ears, incline our hearts before the Lord to hear what he's actually saying, because he only speaks in whispers, guys. And if we have all these noises and distractions in our life, we're not going to hear. We're not going to see the plain truths like this movie really illustrated. And it was just really well done, honestly. I really enjoyed it, guys. Anyways, thank you for watching, my friends. God bless you. This is Radiant Pursuit Ministries. My name is Oburgos, signing off, and I will see you in next week's video. Stay blessed, guys.